Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to be talking you through the installation and the usage of Airgeddon, as well as how to fix the different options in the Evil Twin menu and how to get it working. There's multiple reasons why it's not working, and I'll be discussing those and how to fix them all a bit later in the video. But first, let's install Airgeddon. First thing we need to do is clone it from its Git repository. So we need to git clone https://github.com, the GitHub address, then the username I made the Airgeddon script, which is visitor is here, except for each vowel in the name it uses numbers, so V1, S1, T0, R1, SH, 3R3 / airgeddon.git. Okay, that's git clone https://github.com /visitor is here, using numbers for the vowels, /airgeddon.git. Just run that. As you can see, I've already got it installed, but yours should install fine. In fact, just to make it so you get the same results, let me first remove recursively on all files, Airgeddon directory. Okay. Now I can run that command earlier again, my clone the Git repository. This time it will clone it because I deleted the earlier one I had. So it's remade the directory. So now go into the directory, called directory cd Airgeddon. Airgeddon. Okay, now once we do that, if we list the directory ls, you'll see the folders are in blue and the rest of the files are in white. I've changed my default font to yellow, but yours will be white. That means they're just normal files and aren't executable. So we need to change the main file, which runs the program, airgeddon.sh, which is a bash script sh, to executable. To do that, we do chmod 755, which is the permission level, and the script name, airgeddon.sh. If you want to know more about permissions and what this command is doing exactly and what these numbers mean, check my Linux basics videos. There's 5 of them. In one of those videos, I believe it's the 4th part or the 3rd, but I think it's the 4th, I do discuss permissions and explain exactly what these numbers mean. Okay, so let's change the permissions of that. If I list the directory again, ls, you'll see this time airgeddon.sh is in green. That means it's executable. So let's run it. /airgeddon.sh. Just out of interest, / means use the appropriate interpreter for whatever script I'm using. So if it was a .py, it would use Python to run it. If it was a .pl, Perl, it would use Perl. So / means use the appropriate interpreter. I could type bash airgeddon.sh and get the same result. Okay, so that's what / does. So / airgeddon.sh. Let's just run it. Okay. Now it's going to run the script and it's going to check on root. This is something I should have really mentioned at the beginning. You do need to be root to get the most out of Airgeddon. In fact, you need to be root to run Airgeddon and run all the tools within it. So if you're not the root user, you can't really use the Airgeddon script. If you're not the root user, change to the root user now. To do that, select this little icon at the top right of your screen and you'll see the user here. You can press that, log out and log back in as root. Or you can open a terminal, type SU, which is switch user, and then type root to switch user to root. Then it'll ask you for the root password and you'll then be the root user. So you'll have to be root to run this script. Okay, so once we get there, press enter to continue. It'll now check you've got all the tools it needs. The first time you run the script, you'll find that quite a few of these will be missing. It'll then proceed, it'll ask you to press enter and it'll install them for you. However, once it's finished, it'll still be missing 3 or 4 of these tools. Those tools aren't essential for running the options within Airgeddon. They are essential for running the Evil Twin options, however, and I'll be showing you how to install them when we get to the Evil Twin part. But for now, let it install while it's installing and we'll go through the other options. So press enter when it's finished. It'll now just check you've got internet access, and then it'll check you've got the latest version of the script, which obviously we will have, as we've just cloned it from the Git repository. So press enter to continue. Next, it'll ask you to choose the network adapter you want to use with the script for your Wi-Fi attacks. Obviously, Airgeddon is for pure Wi-Fi attacks. It does every type of Wi-Fi attack, from capturing handshakes, WEP attacks, WPS attacks, denial of service attacks, down to Evil Twin attacks. Okay, so select your network adapter. My Ethernet is just for my internal local network. The WLAN 0 is my internet connection. WLAN 1 is the one I'm going to use. If you've only got one internet adapter, don't worry, you can still run all the tools within Airgeddon, except for a few of the main Evil Twin options. You'll still be able to run one Evil Twin option, however, with just one adapter, but you won't be able to run the more powerful ones. You will need 2 adapters for that. But you can run every other Wi-Fi attack with just one Wi-Fi adapter. So choose the number that is appropriate for the Wi-Fi adapter you want. Mine happens to be 3, WLAN 1. Then you'll get the main menu. You'll see at the top, it'll list the adapter you chose, as well as the mode it's currently in, and what bands it supports, whether it's 2.4 or 2.4 and 5 GHz. Now, manage mode is the normal mode that your internet adapter will be in when it uses the internet, etc. That's the default mode. You'll need to change it to monitor mode to use most of the tools, or if not all the tools, in Airgeddon. So let's do that first. Select option 2 to change to monitor mode. Once that's done, it'll ask us to press enter to continue. As you can notice, the mode is now monitor, and it's changed the name of our adapter to reflect this, WLAN 1 Mon. Okay, so the next thing we'll do, let's go through the main options. This options here, this section, is all your different Wi-Fi attacks. So the first one, DOS attacks menu. This stands for denial of service attacks. So let's select that, number 4. Now, denial of service attack is the process of disconnecting a client or all clients from an access point. That's called a DOS attack, or denial of service attack. You do that for various reasons, such as WPS attacks, capturing an handshake, or disconnecting them so you can put an Evil Twin up and hope they'll connect to your Evil Twin, etc. There's multiple uses for it. This lists 6 different denial of service attacks, the bottom 3 being mainly ineffective nowadays, although number 8 and 9 still do work, and number 10 in some cases actually, but none of these 3 are as good or as powerful as the upper 3, 5, 6 and 7. Those are your more powerful DOS attacks, denial of service attacks. So the first thing you'll need to do is select a target. So select option 4 to look for targets. Press enter to continue. You'll get a new window pop up. Now this will select all your access points in range. As you can see, I've got quite a few, as I've actually got quite a powerful aerial connected at the moment. Once you see the target you want to target, just press Ctrl and C, and that'll close this main window. You'll then get all your targets listed in the actual terminal. Some of them may be in bold with a star like this one. That means they've already had clients, there's already been clients detected that are connected to them. If they haven't got a star and aren't in bold, it doesn't mean they don't have clients connected to them. It just means they haven't been detected as yet. Most of these will actually have clients connected to them, phones, PCs, etc. They just haven't been detected straight away. Okay, so select your target. I'll select number 1. It'll then list your target details at the top here. It'll list the MAC address or the BSSID, the channel number your target's on, the ESSID or the access point name, and the encryption type. You can then proceed to use a denial of service attack to try and disconnect clients from the actual access point for whatever reason you're doing it for. And that's how you do that. Let's go back to main menu. The next option is handshake tools. Let me go into that. Before I tell you about handshakes, you'll notice I haven't actually selected the target yet, but it's still got the target I selected in the other option here. If you do select a target for any option in Airgeddon, and that target is appropriate to another tool you choose at a later time, it will automatically select that target for you. It will keep the target you selected as long as it's appropriate for that attack. I.e., if I selected a WPS attack, I'd have to reselect my target, because just because it's WPA2 doesn't necessarily mean it has WPS as well. So as long as it's appropriate for this attack, it will keep the current target. Otherwise, I'll select number 4 and select a new target in exactly the same manner as we've selected this target. Okay. Next, you select number 5 once you've chosen your target to capture an handshake. Now, in simple terms, what an handshake is, when you connect to your access point, that process of you typing in your Wi-Fi key and the access point checking it's correct, that process is called an handshake. When you capture an handshake, you're actually recording that data. So if I was recording an handshake for this target, I'd be recording the time he connects to the access point. I'd be recording that in a file, a PCAP file. So at a later date I can use that file in a password cracker to try and find his Wi-Fi password. Okay, so that's what an handshake is. It's the process of them connecting, and you need that to crack WPA2. So if I wanted to do it, for example, I'd select option 5. It checks it's a valid access point. You press enter to continue. It then asks you what type of denial of service attack you want to use to try to disconnect the clients from the access point so that you can record the handshake process when they reconnect. So I choose whichever one I want. Say number 3. I'll then ask you to confirm. Press enter. Then these two windows will pop up. This one on the bottom left just lists your actual denial of service attack details. The one on the top right is your handshake details. You'll notice it lists the BSSID or MAC address of your target and some other details. And underneath will list any clients that are connected. If you capture an handshake within 20 seconds, it will be written here on the top line just after the date and time. It will say handshake captured. If it captures an handshake, it basically means you've disconnected the client or clients and they've reconnected and you've recorded that process, and it'll say here handshake connected. If that hasn't happened, or it has happened even, select the main window with your left mouse and select yes or no whether you've captured an handshake or not. If I select no, press enter to confirm, it will go back to here and ask me to select another denial of service attack or the same denial of service attack to try again, and I'd keep doing this until I got my handshake, till I'd recorded the process of them reconnected once I've disconnected them. So that's what a handshake is. let me go back to the main handshake menu. The only other option in the handshake menu is this clean optimize handshake. Now I suggest you never use this option. When you clean or optimize an handshake, it actually cleans out some of the data in the PCAP file, which is the recorded handshake file, that it thinks you won't need, that isn't applicable to that access point or to the Wi-Fi key of that access point. Unfortunately, by cleaning and optimizing it in this method, it makes it so it doesn't work in some of the more powerful password crackers such as Hashcat. So don't use this option. Leave the handshake as it is. The longer it takes you to capture an handshake, the bigger your capture file will be, your PCAP file. Don't worry however big it is. If it takes you 5 to 10 minutes, for example, it could be a few megs, 5 or 6 megabyte big. Don't worry about it, it'll still work fine in your password cracker. If you actually disconnect and capture your handshake target within a 10-20 seconds, you'll find it'll probably only be 50 kilobytes or so. It doesn't really matter the size of your handshake file, so don't worry about that. Okay, let's go back to the main menu. That's handshake. The next option is offline WPA, WPA2 decrypt menu. This is basically cracking your handshake password, cracking the handshake to find the Wi-Fi password. Let's just have a look at those options. 6. We have 5 options here. The top 2 are using a tool called Aircrack. Now most videos on YouTube will, well in fact all videos I believe that I've ever seen to do with WPA2 cracking, will show you how to capture the handshake, which is exactly correct, and then they'll show you how to crack the handshake using Aircrack and a dictionary attack using a word list. Unfortunately this will never ever work. You'll never crack it using this method. The reason for that is 1, because Aircrack uses your CPU and that takes literally months to crack, but also more importantly you're using a dictionary file, which is a word list, which is a list of English words for passwords. Unfortunately, as you well know, Wi-Fi passwords are never actually English words, or very rarely. They're mainly a combination of letters and numbers. So a word list will never work to crack them. I'll actually be showing you how to crack a WPA2 file in another video I'll be doing very soon. So if you're interested in that, please look out for that video. Hashcat actually uses your graphics card to do this process, which is a lot quicker than your CPU. And even though it's quicker, with a half decent graphics card it'll still take from 1 day to 30 days to crack it. And that's because of the key space of your Wi-Fi key. Now a key space means each ISP will use a certain amount of characters in every password they use, and they'll use a certain amount of characters, such as they may use lower X values in the password. Could be A to F and 0 to 9. They use any combination of them up to 8 characters long. That's called the key space. Now the more complex the key space, the longer it'll take to crack. But I'll show you how to do that anyway. If you want to play around with this on your own, feel free. But I do suggest using Hashcat. If you've got any chance at all at doing it, it'll be with Hashcat and using your GPU. Okay. Also Windows actually uses your GPU a lot better than Linux. It's got better drivers for CUDA and such, which your GPU uses. So you'll have much more success with Windows. However, as I said, I won't be covering that in this video. If you want to play around, feel free to play with these options. You can't actually harm anything. I will be doing another video at a later date to crack WPA2 anyhow. But that's those options. Let's go back to my menu. The next option is the evil twin attacks. I'm going to skip that at the moment, as I'll be covering that when I explain how to fix the options. If you go into it at the moment, the bottom 3 evil twin options, which are the main more powerful options, will be in red text. Will basically be blocked out. You can't use them because you haven't got the necessary tools installed. And even if you have got the necessary tools, they won't work properly. I'll be explaining all that in a moment, so bear with me. For now, let's go for the other options. WPS attacks, number 8. Now, I have done a video on WPS attacks and the various ways in which you can attack WPS targets, called WPS cracking. It's a 3-part video and it'll explain everything you need. It does cover all these attacks. The first thing you'll need to do is select your target like we did before. As you can see, even though I selected a target for an handshake, it's not actually listed now. That's because it's not necessarily a WPS access point. It has to recheck it. But it is the same process. It'll open a new window, list all the access points that are WPS enabled. Then you'll press Ctrl and C to close that window and it'll relist them in your main terminal. You then select the number next to the target you want and it'll be listed up here. Once you've done that, you'll have these options. The top two are using Bully or Reaver respectively, or be entering a custom pin. That means you'll have a good idea what the 8-digit pin is and you'll enter it manually. It'll ask you for an 8-digit pin and now how long you want the attack to last for, how long you want it to wait for the attack to be successful. Once you've entered those details, it'll try and connect with the pin you've entered. You can use Bully or Reaver. The next one is a pixie dust attack. In very simple terms, this uses it's kind of like an handshake. Our WPS connects, it uses those values that it connects with, R, nonce, PKR value, etc, etc. Don't worry what those are for the moment. And it tries to generate the default pin. And it does that and then checks that pin to see if it works. Sometimes this will work. Very rarely nowadays, I have to say. But it's definitely worth trying as it'll only take a few seconds to try. Next, it'll brute force your pin. It'll basically go through every possible combination of 8-digit pins. It'll go from 0000 to 9999, checking the first part of your pin. Once that's successful, it then goes on to the second part of your pin and checks for those digits. So it'll check for up to 10,000 attempts, up to 999. Once that's successful, it'll check the next amount of pins, 11,000 in all. It'll check every possible pin it can till it gets the right one. So if you can connect via WPS and the WPS attack will work, this attack will definitely work. It just may take some while, from 3 to 6 hours depending on how quickly you can get different pins. However, most access points are blocked against WPS attacks now. Some, however, aren't. Check my WPS cracking videos for more details. The next one will check a database of known pins, basically default pins for certain routers. This will check all those pins against your access points, see if it can connect with any of them. There'll also be certain algorithms that will work using the MAC address and the ESSID, the access point name of your target. It'll try those algorithms and generate pins to see if those will work. You can use Reaver or Bully again. The last one will do exactly that. It will check known algorithms for certain routers and it will generate a list of pins using those algorithms, so you can try them manually with the top two options, 5 and 6. That's WPS. Let me go back to the main menu. The last option is WEP attacks. Now, it's very rare you're going to find a WEP target nowadays. I actually haven't come across any in my area, but if you do come across a WEP target and you've got an half decent connection strength to it, you'll definitely be able to crack it. So select number 9, select your target. If you've already had a target via a handshake or something and it supports WEP, it will be listed here. If not, select option 4 and select a target in exactly the same manner as we did before, and then simply select option 5 and it'll try all 5 different WEP attacks. One of them, as long as you've got an half decent connection strength to the target, will definitely work. It's fully crackable nowadays, WEP is. So if you have got an IP that's got WEP encryption and you've got an half decent connection strength to it, you'll definitely be able to crack it. Just let number 5 sit back and wait for it to get you the password. That's that. Let's go back to the main menu. The last option, number 11, just allows you to change the language and other options to do with the script. None of the options affect the tools themselves. They all change things like whether it checks for updates when you first start the script, changes the language and stuff like that. Changes if you use different colours like you see here. Just things like that. Things to do with the appearance of the script and how it works, and not to do with the tools themselves. Let me go at the script now and show you how to fix evil twin attacks. So first thing you want to do is put your Wi-Fi adapter back into manage mode from monitor mode. If you don't do this, it will actually do it for you when you exit the script, but I'll do it manually by selecting option 3. This will put my my Wi-Fi adapter back into manage mode. Now I can press 0 to exit the script. Okay. Let me just clear my screen. Now first of all, you'll need to install some extra tools for the evil twin attacks to work. So follow me. apt install isc tac dhcp tac server space host apd space light tpd. That's double T, light tpd, double T, and then space tac y. The tac y means say yes for any questions asked me, i.e. to confirm. So press enter and let it do. As you can see, I've already installed them. When you've done that and it's installed the necessary packages, you next need to download a version of Bettercap. Now you could just do apt install Bettercap, as it is available on the Kali repository. Unfortunately, the version of Bettercap that's out at the moment is version 2.1, I believe, and that's a completely different method of using Bettercap than was used when the Airgeddon script was made. Even though Airgeddon is still updated to this day, it still uses the older version of Bettercap, and the new version of Bettercap will not work with it. So you'll need an older version of Bettercap, and you can get that from here. I'll be putting this address in the comments below. So wget to download, https://dl for download dot packet storm security, which is a really great site, by the way, for security tools, .net /sniffers /bettercap tac 1.6.1 Bettercap tac 1.6.1 .tar.gz. As I said, I'll be putting this download address in the comments below. Press enter for that to download. Okay, once that's downloaded, we'll need to extract it, and you do that like this: tar tac xzf, and that's option tar, as it's a tar file, X for extract, Z because it's a gzip file, F extract the files. Okay, then the file name, which was Bettercap tac 1.6.1 .tar.gz. Okay, tar tac xzf, and the file name we downloaded, Bettercap tac 1.6.1 .tar.gz. That's extracted. If we press ls to list, we'd see it extracted. It's extracted into a folder of exactly the same name as the file. So let's call directory, or CD into that directory. CD Bettercap. Now we could type tac 1.6.1, or you can press tab at this point for it to auto complete. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Better, and press tab to auto complete. So CD Bettercap tac 1.6.1, or CD better and tab to auto complete. So call directory, CD into it. Okay. Now we actually now need to install the Bettercap, this older version of Bettercap. Now it's downloaded in a Ruby file, so we need to install that in a different way than we've installed other files. So follow me. All Ruby files are in something called gem files. They're Ruby gems, they're called. Now first we have to make the file or compile it. If you've ever had to compile a C program and you have to run a make file by making it, it's exactly the same thing. It's the same process but for Ruby files, and you do that like this. You type gem build to build a gem file, Bettercap dot gem spec, or specifications of this gem. That's how this is kind of like a make file for gem files. So gem build bettercap.gem spec. Press enter, and that will build the appropriate Ruby gem for us to install. Now we install that Ruby gem, and to do that you simply type gem install Bettercap, and at this stage you could press tab to auto complete, or you can just type, oh no, there's too many there, never mind. Okay, so gem install Bettercap tac 1, then you could press tab to auto complete, or .6.1 .gem. So gem install Bettercap tac 1.6.1.gem. Let that install. I've actually already installed this, but let this install, and it will also install any dependencies it needs. It's usually a lot quicker than that, to be honest. I think it's because I've already installed it and it's wondering why I'm trying again. There, it is kind of there. Okay. Okay, once that's installed for you, as you won't have already installed it, we've now got Bettercap installed. So go back down to our Airgeddon folder. So call directory cd space ... basically means go up a directory. That's back into our Airgeddon directory. Now we have the installed files we need, as well as the version of Bettercap we need for it to work properly. There's one more file I'll need you to create. So I'll need you to type WPA / passphrase and the name of your access point, your ESSID. Basically this is the ESSID, or the access point name of the access point you connect to get internet access. Mine happens to be Sky C21FB, and mine's all in capitals. You need to type exactly as it's shown. Okay, and then space and 2 forward angle brackets or arrows, whatever you want to call them. So that WPA / passphrase, your access point name or ESSID, space 2 forward angle brackets, and then we're creating this file basically in / etc directory etc WPA / supplicant.conf WPA / supplicant.config conf. Okay, WPA / passphrase, your ESSID, 2 forward angle brackets into the folder / etc / into the file wpa_supplicant.config conf. Press enter. Now this will stop and look like it's not actually doing anything, but it's actually waiting for you to now type your Wi-Fi password. It's doing that because it's going to actually put your Wi-Fi password into that file wpa_supplicant.config in a special way, not in plain text, basically in a special X type manner. So type your Wi-Fi password. I've actually changed mine for a temporary one. Strangely enough, I've changed it to temp password. Okay, so once you've done that and typed your proper password, we're all ready. Next we want to run our Airgeddon script. So /airgeddon.sh. You'll now find it'll quickly check your root, press enter. Now it'll check you have all the files and you'll see they've all now been installed. So press enter to continue. It'll check it's got the latest version. Press enter to continue. Now it'll ask you for your interface selection. This is going to be select the interface you want to use for your evil twin, not your internet connected one. So I'll select 3 for WLAN 1. WLAN 0 is my internet one, so I'll select WLAN 1. Okay, going to our evil twin options. As you can see, all our options are now available. Before we did those few fixes, these bottom 4 options wouldn't have been available. They would have been in red text, which means they wouldn't have worked. You will need 2 Wi-Fi adapters for any of these 4 options to work, although you can get away with just 1 Wi-Fi adapter for this one. Okay. Now I'm not going to exactly explain what each of these do, at least not in detail. The first one will basically make an evil twin, which is a fake access point. It'll ask you for a target, so first select option 4 to find a target. So if I select option 4, oh sorry, I need to go in monitor mode. So the first thing you need to do is put your evil twin adapter, the interface you're using for that, in monitor mode, option 2. Okay. Now look for a target, option 4. Yes. Center. Wait for the target you want to appear. I'm presuming if you selected this option you know what an evil twin attack is. Basically you'll be cloning someone's access point. You'll then be kicking them off their access point and trying to make it so they attack to the fake access point that you've created with the same name as their access point. Once they've connected, you'll be sniffing all that they do on the internet, i.e. try to capture all the passwords they use to connect to Facebook or their email client, etc., using different methods. Or you could use a captive portal which pops up a fake authentication page asking them to enter their password, their Wi-Fi password, such as Fluxion and Wi-Fi Fisher do. This does it in another manner and may work where Fluxion and that doesn't. Okay, so once your target's appeared, press Ctrl and C to close that window and go back to your main terminal. It will now list the targets. Like before, any that are in bold with a star have clients connected to them. If there's someone, that basically means someone's connected to that network. Just because they haven't got a star and in bold doesn't mean no one's connected to them. There still may be someone connected to them. You just need to do a deeper search to find them. But these definitely have someone connected. So choose your target. I'll choose option 1. You then would select your attack. Now I'm not going to actually do an evil twin on any of my neighbours at the moment. All these will work however, and you can feel free to play around with those. I will be doing a set of videos on Man on the Middle, which are different sniffing methods that you can use with evil twin and how you do different things. But it's basically the process of capturing passwords and everything they do on the internet. You can capture all the different things they do. all their loggings, every page they visit, all their cookie data, etc. These are different methods. As you go down in more powerful methods until you get to captive portal, which is a completely different method. That gives them a fake authentication window asking them to re-enter their Wi-Fi password. Once they do that, it tells you the Wi-Fi password. Although they'll have to be a bit foolish for this to work, but it's worth a shot. These ones are usually more successful for capturing internet data, such as loggings, etc. Okay. Now, once you select one of these, it will create your fake access point using the adapter you've chosen. And you'd think that would be it. It'll then run any appropriate tools that you've chosen. Say you've chosen it with SSL strip, which is a tool just to capture internet data. Or say you've chosen it with Bettercap and Beef, which is a more powerful tool to capture more details and hopefully get a hook into their system to get much farther into their system if you want to do more attacks, and captures more internet data basically. You'd think it'd work fine. Unfortunately, what happens, it disconnects your internet adapter and doesn't allow the people who connect to your fake access point, thinking it's their own access point, your evil twin, doesn't allow them to have internet access, so they know it's a fake. So I'll show you how to give them internet access. So at this stage, select the attack you want, say number, so I was selecting number 7. Once you've chosen the attack you want, it'll ask you for the denial of service type you want to disconnect them from the real access point, so they'll connect to the evil twin, the fake access point. So I'll choose 3. It'll then ask if you want DOS pursuit mode. This will basically, every time sometimes when you do this, the access point will reconnect on a different channel, open to evade you. If you select yes for this, it'll actually counter that. This is very rare, however. So for now, I'll select no. Only use that if you find they are doing that. Next, it's going to ask you for your adapter that's using internet. This is the different adapters to the one you chose for your fake access point. This is the one that you've connected to your internet, which is WLAN 0 in my case. So if I select that, it'll now check I've got internet. It'll find I have got internet, so I'll press enter to continue. It'll now ask me if I want to continue with my evil twin attack. I'll choose yes. Do I want to give a fake MAC address? You can if you want, but I'm going to choose no. Do I want to store all the captured passwords I get from them into a file? I'll choose yes. So yeah, enter. This is the file name it's going to save them in. Okay. Now press enter to continue with the attack. Now, the attack started, but you'll find my internet's been disconnected. So if they do get disconnected from their internet point, you get a few windows here with different details on the evil twin and whether they connect or not. It'll also tell you what pages they're visiting and that here. This will tell you if any clients are connecting. This is if they're getting disconnected. Different window will give you different details. They are quite interesting. But now, as you can see, I've got no internet access. So even if I do disconnect them and get them connected to my fake access point, they won't have internet access. So I won't actually be able to capture any passwords, internet pages or anything because they won't have internet. So let's fix that. So press enter to stop it for now, and it will restore the interfaces. Press enter to get back to the menu. So open a new terminal, file, new terminal, and now I want you to type this. We already typed our WPA_passphrase, and that file we created, the WPA supplicant.config, that is for this. So I type WPA_supplicant dot, excuse me, you don't need dot. WPA_supplicant space tac capital B tac capital D space WEXT, I'll be explaining all this in a minute, TAC lowercase I, the Wi-Fi adapter that's giving you internet, mine was WLAN 0, TAC C, space, and then the address to the config file we made with .pa passphrase, which was etc /etc/.pa /supplicant.conf config. Remember, that was the file we created earlier with .pa password, when we had to type in our Wi-Fi password and Wi-Fi SSID. Okay, so let me just explain what this command's doing. It's WPA supplicant is another way for it to connect to the internet. So when it disconnects you from here, you'll still have internet access. Now the TAC capital B, this means run this command in the background continuously. So that basically you'll be able to run Airgeddon commands still without it, while it's still running this command. The TAC capital D means use this wireless driver, which is WEXT. So it's using the WEXT wireless driver, which basically is wireless extensions. So use your default wireless extensions driver. That's what that means. Basically this will work for any Wi-Fi adapter, which is why I'm telling you to do it this way. The next one, TAC I, means use this interface. This is my interface that has internet access. And TAC C means this is where my config file is, which is what we created earlier with the WPA/passphrase command, which is on this address. So that's what that command does. Okay. Okay. So now once you've pressed enter on that, you then need to type DHCLIENT or DH client. Yeah. DH client space and your network adapter that's giving internet access, mine was WLAN 0, and press enter. That'll assign an IP address to the network adapter. So you'd press enter on that. As you can see, I'm not running this as I've already done these commands prior to this video. And then you could always run ifconfig just to check that your network, your Wi-Fi adapter is connected to the internet, even though it doesn't say it up here, and it's got an assigned an IP address. So if you want to check that, you type ifconfig, just check it's connected to your access point and it's got an IP address. So once that's done, you can go back to your Airgeddon script and then run your Evil Twin again, and this time it has worked fine, giving anyone who connects to your Evil Twin internet access, so you can capture their passwords, etc., and any internet pages they connect to, etc., etc. As I said, I'm not going into too much details on these at the moment. Feel free to play around with them. I will be covering man-in-the-middle attacks at a later date. Basically this one is exactly the same as what Fluxion does. This one creates a clone of someone's access point, gets them to, attempts to get them to connect to your access point, and then sniffs what they're doing on the internet. And this basically does it in different ways of effectiveness. This way is pretty effective, this way is very effective, and the bottom way is very, very effective, and also gives you more options if you know how to use beef. If you don't, feel free to play with it, it's got a lot of nice features. This one just creates an evil twin. You can do this with one Wi-Fi adapter. Create an evil twin of someone, even though they won't have internet. They won't have internet if they connect to your access point, or if you have two Wi-Fi adapters, you could use this option to create an evil twin and then use a different man-in-the-middle software other than Bettercap, or the latest version of Bettercap that's not installed with Airgeddon, or any man-in-the-middle software such as MITMF, man-in-the-middle F, and do it manually with this option. This bottom one, actually I think this is the one that will work with one Wi-Fi adapter. Yeah, it is. This is the one that works with just one Wi-Fi adapter. I was wrong when I said it was this one. It's this one, of course it is, the captive portal. You only need one Wi-Fi adapter for this. creates an evil twin, and it just asks them to retype their password, and then it gives you the password and disconnects them. Although if they fall for this, then it's quite surprising, but it's worth a shot. And that's the Airgeddon script. I hope you got something out of this video, especially the fix. It does more or less everything with Wi-Fi in quite a simple way. Let me exit the script. First put my adapter back in manage mode, then exit the script. Okay. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you got something from it. Please share, like or subscribe. Thank you.